The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes details the 10th annual Hunger Games as Coriolanus Snow turns 18 and worries about his future. The Snows, once wealthy and powerful, are practically no more after the deaths of Coriolanus' mother and military father, the latter killed during the district's failed rebellion. Coriolanus and his cousin Tigris live with their grandmother, whom the latter calls Grandmom. While the novel can be read as a coming-of-age story, it also serves as an origin story, recounting a seemingly ordinary individual's transition to villainy, while scouting the latest NBA draftees to sign. Nike marketing exec Sonny Vaccaro spots former star college basketball player Michael Jordan and decides he would be the best athlete to front a new shoe for them. However, he first has to get Jordan and his ambitious mother Dolores on board. When Jordan, who preferred Adidas, stalls, Damon asks Nike designer Peter Moore to create the greatest basketball shoe that's ever been made. The end result is Air Jordan, black and red high tops with a white midsole, and a multi-million-dollar deal. Killers of the Flower Moon tells the story of the plot to kill nearly 60 members of the Osage tribe from 1921 to 1925. In the latter part of the 19th century, the Osage Indian tribe of Oklahoma was awarded the right to profit from the huge oil deposits discovered in the land. The tens of millions of dollars that the Osage people made on their own meant that the Osage Nation was considered one of the wealthiest nations in the world. The wealth made the federal government nervous enough to appoint Caucasian guardians to assist in financial management and caused murderous envy among other communities who hadn't struck it quite so rich. And by 1921, these bad feelings soon led to violence when the body of a wealthy Osage woman was found in the woods. By 1925, at least 60 wealthy members of the Osage tribe had died. The FBI became involved in the investigation and was led by Agent Tom White, who uncovers a complex plot by local cattleman William Hale to gain control of the Osage oil. Hale had even convinced his nephew Ernest Burkhardt to marry Molly Keel, a native Osage woman, to improve his claim to the land. It's probably safe to say that this story of racism, murder, betrayal, and greed will become a gritty and suspenseful film under Scorsese's direction. The movie opens in a museum in Athens, where two women clad in Athenian armor come across the exhibit containing the wizard Shazam's broken staff. As they break into the exhibit and take the individual pieces of the staff, mystical energies flow through them. After stealing it, the duo unleashes chaos powers and elemental energies to butcher and later turn a gallery full of people into statues. We come to know about their identities as the daughters of the Titan Atlas, namely Hespera and Calypso. They return to the realm of the gods, where we meet the wizard Shazam being held captive. Turns out, when Billy broke the wizard's staff in the previous movie while fighting Dr. Sivana and the 7 deadly sins, the barrier was removed and the spell was undone. This film shifts its location from a group of friends in a cabin in the woods to a family living in a run-down apartment building in downtown Los Angeles. And once single mom Ellie is possessed by a deadite early on in the film, what happens next is made even more disturbing because Ellie is psychologically and physically torturing her own children. Her youngest, Cassie, is quite young too. Not that the fates of her siblings Danny and Bridget are made any less painful by the fact that they're teenagers. Evil Dead Rise squeezes a lot of sicko juice out of violence toward kids, which combines with the extreme gore to make it the grueling experience that a good Evil Dead movie should be. The downside is that more time and exposition are needed to set up the film's deviations from the classic cabin in the woods formula, threatening to throw that elemental Evil Dead simplicity out of whack. This is mostly an issue in the first act, which also has to incorporate Ellie's rocker sister Beth and an earthquake that opens up a hole in the floor of the parking garage, where Danny finds an old safety deposit box containing some mysterious records that unleash everything that follows. The building used to be a bank. One of several complicating details Evil Dead Rise has to roll out before it can get to the good stuff. First and foremost, it's about James Reyes. When the movie kicks off, James at loose ends. He's fresh out of college and back home in Palmyra City. Things take an unexpected turn when he's entrusted with a mysterious package. A mysterious alien object known as the Scarab lurks within its confines, which James discovers when he flips the lid back. This shimmering robotic beetle comes promptly to life, then leaps onto James' face, but it doesn't attack him. It bonds with him. In choosing James as its host, the symbiotic scarab grants him an eye, popping exoskeleton that spreads over his skin like water. Empowered by its alien technology, James becomes the Blue Beetle, who wields an incredible range of superpowers, enhanced abilities, and weaponry. D'Artagnan, a spirited young Gascon, is left for dead after trying to save a young woman from being kidnapped. When he arrives in Paris, he tries by all means to find his attackers. He is unaware that his quest will lead him to the heart of a real war where the future of France is at stake. Allied with Athos, Porthos, and Aramis, three musketeers of the king with a dangerous temerity, D'Artagnan faces the dark machinations of the Cardinal of Richelieu. But it is when he falls madly in love with Constance Bonacieux, the Queen's confidante, that D'Artagnan truly puts himself in danger. For it is this passion that leads him into the wake of the one who becomes his mortal enemy, Milady de Winter. Ferrari is a biopic about the famous Italian driver and entrepreneur Enzo Ferrari, and the movie will paint a picture of a specific moment in his life. It will be based on the book Enzo Ferrari, The Man and the Machine by Brock Yates. The particular time that the movie will look at is tragic in Enzo Ferrari's life. The logline of the film reads, "The life of Italian driver and entrepreneur Enzo Ferrari in 1957 as he deals with family problems while also preparing for the 1957 Mille Miglia." Of course, racing fans will know of the 1957 Mille Miglia. The 1,000-mile race sent cars traveling at high speeds on open roads through the Italian countryside. Although the Mille Miglia was extraordinarily popular, it ended tragically with its last race that Ferrari will focus on